What happens when the Imperium's most dreaded ships, symbols of fear, sacrifice, and survival, begin to show cracks in their ancient purpose? The Black Ships have haunted the stars for 10,000 years, their colossal shadows falling across Imperial worlds, their arrival bringing terror and despair. For most citizens of the Imperium, the sight of a Black Ship is nothing short of apocalyptic. Families hide their children, entire populations tremble, for they know that those vessels have come to collect the Psykers, mutants cursed with psychic powers that can either serve the Emperor or damn entire planets. But today, in the fractured galaxy of the 42nd millennium, a chilling question lingers in the void. Are the Black Ships doomed to fade into obsolescence, unable to survive the age of darkness that has swallowed the Imperium? Or are they evolving into something new, something far more terrifying? To understand their uncertain future, we must first uncover the Black Ship's role in the Imperium's grim machinery of survival. Each year, thousands of Psykers emerge across the galaxy. To the average citizen, they are witches, cursed beings who hear voices from the warp or unleash powers they cannot control. Left unchecked, a single untrained Psyker can become a gateway for demons to pour into real space, condemning a city or even a world. This is why the Imperium hunts them so relentlessly. The Black Ships are the answer. Vast, heavily warded vessels that scour the galaxy, rounding up Psykers by the tens of thousands. Once collected, these Psykers face two fates: execution or sacrifice. A small minority are sanctioned and trained for Imperial service: astropaths, navigators' aides, battlefield Psykers who burn their lives out in service of the Imperium. The vast majority, however, are consumed in the Golden Throne's endless hunger. They are fed into the Emperor's failing machinery. Their souls burn to fuel the Astronomicon, the psychic beacon that guides humanity's ships through the warp. This cycle is as old as the Imperium itself, but the 42nd millennium is not the Imperium of old. The Cicatrix Maledictum, the Great Rift, has torn the galaxy in two, drowning entire sectors in warp storms, stranding worlds in eternal night. Warp travel is no longer stable. Even the Astronomicon's light cannot pierce every shadow. And so, the Black Ships find themselves in peril. The warp is more dangerous than ever, and hundreds of these vessels have already been lost, swallowed whole by demonic entities, or destroyed in storms that even their Geller fields could not resist. Without them, the harvest of Psykers falters. Without Psykers, the Emperor's throne grows hungry. Without the throne, the Astronomicon fades. The Imperium teeters on collapse. Yet, as with every corner of the Imperium, whispers of adaptation emerge. Are the Black Ships doomed relics of a bygone age, or are they evolving to survive the age of the Dark Imperium? Some within the Adeptus Mechanicus claim to be developing new warp-resistant hulls, stronger Geller field technology, and systems that could allow Black Ships to withstand even the storms of the Rift. Others speak of secret research into controlling the Psykers themselves more efficiently, not merely to harvest them for sacrifice, but to chain them into vast psychic batteries, vessels of endless power. If such experiments succeed, the Black Ships might not only continue their grim harvest, but transform into mobile engines of war, carrying thousands of enslaved Psykers whose power could be unleashed as weapons against humanity's enemies. But such a future raises terrible questions. What would it mean for the Imperium to weaponize the very Psykers it fears? Would these new Black Ships still serve the Emperor, Or would they become tools of the Inquisition, dark arsenals in the shadow wars of the High Lords? Could they even fall into the hands of heretics, twisted into floating temples of chaos, spewing demonic fire into real space? The line between evolution and corruption is razor thin, and in the Imperium, progress often comes at a price more horrifying than stagnation. The political implications are equally dire. The Inquisition relies heavily on the Black Ships to enforce their authority, for Psyker control is not just a necessity, it is a symbol of the Imperium's dominion. If the Black Ships weaken or disappear, the Inquisition's grip loosens, and worlds may rebel against the dreaded psychic harvest. Already, there are signs of unrest. In frontier systems, cults rise to protect Psykers, viewing them as prophets instead of abominations. In some cases, desperate governors hide their Psyker populations, fearing that their world cannot withstand the terror and despair of a Black Ship visitation. Should these practices spread, the Imperium could face not only a shortage of Psyker sacrifices, but uncontrolled outbreaks of psychic phenomena, demonic incursions, and the collapse of entire sectors. And yet, on the other side of the coin, the Black Ships could grow even more feared. If their rumored evolution becomes reality, if they arrive not only to harvest Psykers, but to unleash them as chained weapons, their reputation would only darken. Imagine a Black Ship descending upon a rebellious world, not only to take its Psykers, but to obliterate its armies with the unleashed fury of thousands of tortured minds. The psychological effect alone would be enough to keep the galaxy in check, reinforcing the Imperium's rule through fear, unlike anything seen before. But we must not forget the most crucial truth. The Black Ships are not merely tools of war or oppression. They are the Imperium's lifeline. Without them, the Emperor's light dies. Without that light, humanity is blind in the warp, helpless against the predators that stalk the void. This reality ensures that, doomed or not, the Imperium cannot allow the Black Ships to fail, whether by evolving into new forms or by growing harsher and more desperate. They must endure, because the alternative is extinction. Still, history teaches us a cruel lesson. Every institution in the Imperium eventually falls into decay. The legions of the Great Crusade shattered into the fractured chapters of today. The Mechanicum's mastery of technology has eroded into superstition and ritual. Even the Emperor himself, once a godlike conqueror, now lies silent on the throne, a rotting corpse sustained only by endless sacrifice. Can the Black Ships truly escape this fate, or are we witnessing the first signs of their decline? Losses in the warp, dwindling Psyker harvests, and whispers of desperation in the halls of Terra. Perhaps the Black Ships will endure, reshaped by innovation and fear, into something even more terrible. Perhaps they will collapse, dragging the Imperium into darkness with them. Perhaps both outcomes are true, an evolution so horrifying that it feels like doom. In the grim darkness of the far future, there are no happy endings, only survival bought with blood, and survival that always demands a price. So when you look into the void and see a Black Ship gliding silently through the stars, ask yourself, are you seeing the last gasp of a dying relic, or the birth of a new monster that will haunt humanity for millennia to come? The future of the Black Ships is not just the future of a fleet. It is the future of the Imperium itself. Doomed or evolving, the galaxy will never be the same.